Guys, welcome to another episode of Surreabstract Creatives. This is our holiday episode, and I am so delighted to celebrate the holidays with all of you. This is our Christmas Eve episode, and today we're going to be doing 5 simple holiday designs for holiday cards that you can do in under 10 minutes. They're fun, they're just easy to put together. All you need is some watercolor paper, watercolors, and brushes, and it can make for a really amazing gift if you don't have any money for the holidays, or if you just want to leave a super memorable holiday card for somebody else that would want to keep it. One of the years that I've done holidays this way, and I didn't have a lot of money to give holiday gifts to all of my friends. So what I did was I actually took their pictures and I created little cartoons of them in awesome environments that they really enjoyed or things they really loved. And I kind of turned them into these characters for the holiday cards, and many of my friends ended up keeping the cards. But what we're doing today is just simple designs that you're a kid, you could do this. If you're a teenager, you could do this. If you're an adult, you could do this. And it should be pretty simple and easy. And I am using a set of Yarka watercolors. They're from St. Petersburg, and these are honey-based watercolors. I've also, in the past, as I've shown many of you, used the palette like this, but as you can see, some of the colors are not as strong, so they tend to fall out of these little areas, and they're perfect for these cards, but not necessarily for long-term type of high-end pieces. But if you're just starting out, this is an amazing starter kit, and it comes with everything you need, literally. It comes with a brush that has water in it, so you can make all of these moist and then use the colors, and it comes with a little pad that you can blot and clean whatever you need to do. But if you're traveling, this is an awesome way to kind of do watercolors. So I strongly recommend it. We're not going to use this today, and I'm not advertising for this company also. I'm just saying I bought the kit because I wanted to try it out, and it's a pretty cool kit, but it's definitely not high-end watercolors. So with that being said, I also use Reeves watercolors and others that are just tube watercolors that I put on my watercolor palette, and I like these as well, and it gives you also an option to get white for gouache. So if you did mess up somewhere, or if you want to add a white highlight and you forgot that as you were painting watercolors, it has that option, right? So let's dive in. I hope you have your coffee or drinks ready, and we'll get started in just a second as soon as I adjust our camera. All right. Okay, I'm going to try to bring this as close as I can so this is really visible for everyone that joined me today. I'm sorry, guys, if I cannot see all of your comments, but I will definitely try my best to show you guys what we're doing today and make sure all of this is well seen. All right, let me get this closer. All right, cool. So for this project, I am using watercolor paper. I basically cut the watercolor paper in half. This isn't working right. Let me do this. Okay, cool. So for this project, I cut the watercolor paper in half, and you can see that I kind of created just these small cards. If you're using one of these so this one is a rougher type of watercolor paper. Make sure that you are on the side that's unrefined versus the refined side. But if you prefer painting on an unrefined on a refined side, that's fine too. So for the first card, we are going to do so for this one, I really wanted to paint a gnome, and I came up with a cool design for a gnome, right? So it's pretty easy to do. You do 2 eyes, you do a little nose. As you guys know, the gnome usually has the beard, right? But I really wanted to do the gnome with an upside down beard that looks like a tree. And so to draw it, you're just gonna do something like this, right? And then I really wanted to give him a puzzled look. So I kind of created a hand here, and we want to do the hat. So our gnome can have a hat here, and over here, I wanted to put a thought bubble that says, why is, let me make sure everybody can see my beard upside down. And green. And here, we're going to put another thought bubble that says, oh yeah, it's holiday season. Happy holidays. So I'm doing these in pencil. You obviously can do this in pen. You can do this in colorful pens. You could do this in watercolors, whatever seems most appropriate, right, for you. And we can kind of do the little hair over here for our guy, right? And we can give him just the second hand here, kind of put it behind him, right? So as we're using this with watercolors, it should be pretty easy to paint as well. We will do our Christmas tree, and if you want to put some things on a Christmas tree, just make sure to include those balls or those ornaments in, okay? And you can easily paint around them as you're doing your Christmas tree. Here, let me turn some holiday music on for. And I'm actually So I gave myself a rough outline, but you guys could really do these with straight brush strokes if you know exactly where you want to paint. And you can just kind of paint around the little balls, right? And there we go. Let's just use a beige color to paint our little guy in here. And I want to use the hat. And I want to create stripes on my hat. So rather than painting it all in, I'm just painting some lines in. And here I'm going to go all around to create some of those folds. And it's going to create your hat a lot more dynamic. And we want to add some hair for him. And we want him to have that suit. And voila. And if you want to add a little bit of a snowy shadow here, you could always create it with the little blue. And I want the darker color for his eyes. And I want the same color for his boots. But for the hair, we're going to do some yellow. And we're going to do some yellow for our little balls here on the tree. Stick to a few colors. Don't use a lot of colors, guys, because when you're using a lot of colors, it gets to be busy on the card. So you really just want to stick to a few colors. the fewer colors, the simpler your card, the easier it is for people to appreciate it. There we go. Our first card is ready. And it was that simple. And we can write anything inside of it that we want. All right, on to our next card. Guys, always remember, you want to open up your card. So if you're going to write in here, open up your card, make sure you're drawing on this side so your drawing is not upside down when you're going to actually close the card. All right, for the next one, we are going to do a cat and dog and a mistletoe. All right, so let's start with a cat. Hopefully this is seen. And you guys can see it too, right? Yep. Okay, let me move that over just. Whoop. Right. Okay, 1 second. Having technical difficulties here. Okay, cool. Just making sure. All right. And on this side, we want an excited dog. And again, I was trying to make these really easy for kids to draw. So you guys can see kind of like a pretty simple design here. These aren't obviously super artistic in terms of accuracy, but yeah. And these are always easy to draw out initially with a pencil, because then you can easily adjust them as you need, right? So this is our next design. Trying to make sure that this is easy to see for everyone. All right. And this should be pretty easy to paint. So let's choose a couple colors. Let's do our cat. Now, if this happens, where you saw me put a little bit more color than needed, all you need to do is add some water and wipe it off with your paper towel. So any mistakes you make on these cards, they're pretty easy to fix. Not to mention that you can also use a different color around to kind of outline and fix the mistake that way, right? And here we go. I want my bow to be nice and red. And to make the folds in it, on one side or both sides, you can kind of just leave some white. You can also make the folds by adding some water and blotting it out. And then going back in and adding some color as such. So 2 ways to make those folds, guys. And makes it for a pretty simple design there. Cool. Let's do the eye for the cat. And we could do the whiskers. And we could do a little area for the cat. And you guys can outline these if you want. Just remember, when you outline something, it makes it flat. So if you are outlining something, it's going to look a lot flatter than if you're not, right? But the whole benefit of having some of those pencil lines is so you can easily outline it. And give it that card look. Yeah? And we're gonna add some holly. And these cards are really, really simple. As you guys can see, you can create those branches in. And you can come in and add a little darker color to diversify how your card looks. And for our little guy over here, actually this one brush, let's do this brush. And we're gonna do brown. to do the white portion. I think I want to give him black ears. Kind of more like this. And I want to give him a black ear here. Just like this. And I want to give him a black nose. And black eyes. And now we can outline our doggy. Just like this. And I want to give him a black tail. Black and white tail. And our doggy is done. Let's add a mouth for him. And our card is done in under 10 minutes, guys. And this is our final. How cute is this? It's super cute, isn't it? All right. Cool. Let's do two more. All right, so for this next one, this is for many of our teens who love the emojis. I thought this could be cool. See if you could guess what it is. Let me know in the comments if you guys guessed before I finish drawing. If you didn't draw the bottom part wide enough, you can always extend it. And the cool thing is this part doesn't have to be as strict. I'm just adding a little snow in here. So feel free to make it kind of simplified. And I really kind of wanted the snow on top. And what we're going to do is use that dark brown color to outline. And same thing here. I want to do the darker color on top and the darker color here. And I want my dark color for the eyes. And maybe even some of these lines you guys could also do in dark color so they kind of stand out. Remember, these cards are easy to outline and pretty easy to create. And I would love to put some snowflakes in here to kind of make this really stand out. And our card is almost complete. Let's make our poop angel. And for those of you guys that want to do this in watercolors, you can easily write out all the words with a smaller brush. Just like that. And we have our next card. All right, let's create a couple more. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Thank you so much for staying with me this long. And I hope these are going to be fun for you and your kids to create. And if you are a kid, thanks so much for joining me. Remember to subscribe to my channel. And remember to have fun with these. They're all about having fun. All right, for the next one, I want to do a fun ginger man. And on this side, let's have him like that. Like that. Let's do our ginger man. If you do him light enough, like I am doing him, you'll be able to easily go in and add some of those color decorations right inside on top of the color that you are creating. If you are making him darker and more vibrant, just remember to leave the color for decorations or paint them in first and then come in with the general color. But it's a little bit easier to paint the color in first. So now we're going to go in with the color decorations here. And if your colors are not dry yet, not well dry, they're going to bleed. So be careful with that. I'm going to let my colors dry a little bit more. I might even blot them like that. And that should give us good color. And how about nice green colors for our buttons? Yeah. And let's outline him like we've done all the other ones. And there we are. So if you guys had your colors bleed initially, make sure to go over those areas and add a little bit more color once they dry. You can also create additional decorations here. like that. And you can go around the buttons to make them 3D. And just like that, our new card is done. It came out so cute. I hope you guys are loving this. I am having fun this holiday season creating these. And here's our next card. Poor Ginger Man, right? And for the last one, I kind of really wanted to do some, oh, my card got a little wet here. Let's use the side of it. For this last one, I just wanted to do something sweet. So why don't we do a stocking? And this is something that you can use with your own picture. You could use this with somebody else's picture. So in this area here, you can put your own face, somebody else's face. You could actually attach a picture of it and then just kind of cut out the area for the hat, for the Christmas hat. Okay? And we'll make it real simple. Yeah? Just like that. And for our purposes, we'll just make this a simple face. Start out with a larger block color. It'll be easier to fill the card. And we can do this here. And I kind of wanted the darker color down here. So I want to show you guys that if you don't want to make it super sharp, you can kind of create that soft edge that looks pretty cool too. Now, make sure when you're doing the outlines for this that you're doing them in red. They're going to look much nicer than if you're doing them in black. You're keeping it all within the same color scheme. You can also just create the card with white and red just like this. And not use any color, any other color, I mean. And one color card would be extremely effective if you are using a photograph here, because it will draw all of the attention to your photo. Okay. And there we are. I might actually do some designs here. So it looks a little bit more dynamic. And here we are. And we could do the sign even in the same color, right? And just like that, we're done. Super cute little. You guys can also add some lines on the bottom here to make it a little bit more festive. Just like that. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. This is our last card here. I want to show all the cards that we've made today. So give me a second to take this camera back here. Oops. Sorry about that. And our Evie's over there joining us today. So let's look at some of our cards. So this is our first one. Well, last one, rather. This was our first one. I should really write this in colors so you guys can see. Give me just a second here. So it's readable. One second. Cool. So this was our next one. And for those of you guys who can't see, it says Why is my beard upside down and green? Oh yeah, it's holiday season. Happy holidays. So these are super cute. I love how they turned out. And here's our one with a dog and a cat and the mistletoe. It says don't even think about it for the cat. And our one with poop for all of you teens who love the emojis that says, holy crap, it's Christmas. And last but not least, it's been a rough season. I don't know about you guys. It's been a little bit of a rough season for me, definitely for this gingerbread. So if anybody needs one of these cards this holiday season, I think it's a perfect card to give them to lighten up their mood and to just make them smile. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate all of you. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you joining me for these lives. And I definitely really appreciate you being part of the channel. If you've stuck with me this far, please remember to subscribe to my channel. Please, for those of you guys joining me on Instagram or Facebook, please join my YouTube channel and also the TikTok channel that I have going on. I do post different things on different channels, so it is valuable to join different channels for the Surreabstract Creatives art. I also want to share that on Clubhouse, if you guys are on Clubhouse, if you're joining me on Clubhouse, we are holding discussions every week right now, every day from 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on how to use NFTs, how to get involved in NFTs. Different discussions about getting kids involved in NFTs, as well as getting into the metaverse or building out your own project in the metaverse space. So if you guys are interested in discussions of this nature, if you guys are interested in getting more involved, if you have questions, please remember to kind of shoot me questions in the comments below, but also join us for these sessions. I post live, excuse me, I post the links for our discussions almost daily. So if you're joining me on Instagram, you'll get those links in my stories and you can stay on top of the different discussions that we are holding. The Surreabstract Creatives Club meets on Clubhouse every Thursday at 11:30, from 11:30 to 12:30. So that's a good time to join us for creativity discussions, for discussions on how to get a little bit more into the VR, AR space and how to utilize different technologies to kind of advance your art as well. We also hold in that time about your art business. So if you are a new creative and if you want to put your art out there, you don't know how to get started, it's a perfect space to join us. So thanks again, guys, and I will see you next week. Have an amazing holiday, everyone, and celebrate the holidays with your family. This time is totally worth the time to treasure, to appreciate, especially in this COVID season. Thank you, guys. See you later.